I'm John Snedeker, the Clinical Director of LaSara Medical Group in Orange County in Los Angeles, California. And in this video, you're going to hear from another successfully treated patient who went forward with our low-intensity shockwave therapy, and as a result, is back to having natural sex again.
Well, I do consider my health extremely good for my age. I am 74 and proud of my condition. I keep very active in sports. I love soccer. I love participating in it. And I think it's helped me quite a bit. Plus the fact that my wife and I actually do things together. We camp together. We go to the gym together. The only thing she doesn't do is soccer with me. But everything else she does. It was very hard for me to understand erectile dysfunction because that is something I really never experienced. I've always been able to perform. I never had problems getting an erection. I enjoyed my sexual relations with my wife, and it never came into my mind something like that could be possible. I couldn't see it in other people even happening. And so when it started a few years back, I said, I blamed on everything, including the weather. I don't know, it was inexplicable to me. It just started slipping from me. So it was embarrassing, very embarrassing, because I've always been a very high-performing person, and I just couldn't accept it. Let's put it that way. It was hard. It was hard, and especially with my wife, because she has never, and I can say that wholeheartedly, has ever rejected me. Anytime I make any kind of advance to her, she's been there. I don't care what kind of problems we could have. We could even have a bad discussion. If I came up to her and just grabbed her around the waist, we were ready to go to town. It's just that simple. It was great. I never had any lack of confidence to reach one. That's why I couldn't understand my dysfunction. And I did try speaking with my doctor, and of course he gave me some pills, and all I got from them, because I was on Cialis, that gave me nothing. I was on that other blue pill, that just gave me a very bad headache. And I tried even some herbal supplements, and mediocre. It was not giving me what I was. It was not bringing me back to myself. ED affected my life in every way, especially with the relationship with my wife, because I do consider my sexual activity with her extremely important. Not just important, but extremely important. It was always a big part of us, a very enjoyable part of us. I enjoy most of all her enjoyment of it. This is what really keeps me going, gives me the biggest pleasure. And my not being able to function just wore on me terribly, mentally, and I think it even worsened me physically. I tried everything to avoid her after a while, stay up watching TV, whatever it took, because I just had no sensation, no feeling, no urge for any kind of a stimulation, and I would just look bad if I even tried approaching her and not be able to have an erection. It just affected me mentally very, very hard, and physically, I believe. Well, coming to LaSara was actually my wife's doing. My wife has always being my guardian angel. She's always looked after my health in every way. And she had spoken to me about different things, and nothing actually convinced me. And she kept researching different methods, different ways, different studies that had been made. And she came across this LaSara. Once we were in the truck, we're driving to the river, and it sounded interesting. I said, well, why don't you look it up? After she had all the answers she knew I would ask her, she came to me and she says, I believe this is something we could try. What do you think about it? Because she will ask me, we do things together. And I said, let me digest it. Let me think about it for a while. So after a couple of weeks and feeling sorry for myself, I said, you know what, I've got to try this not only for me, but for her. So I said, okay, well, let's go interview and find out what Dr. DeYoung can tell me, see if it sounds convincing, because you have to convince me. And so we came in. Everybody was excellent. Everybody treated us with a lot of respect and very knowledgeable. Whatever we asked, everybody did give us, I like answers that can be not only answered, but have logic behind them. And the response, the answer sounded right. And so we decided to go with the treatment. And I have not regretted it at all. When it comes to success, I don't know what everybody else's success might be like, but mine was almost immediate. I had my first treatment on a Friday. It was actually Saturday morning. I woke up and I said, look, because we do get along beautifully. And she said, what? I said, well, look what's happening here. And it wasn't a P-boner. I mean, that's the truth, It was actually an erection. It felt good. It felt full. And so, of course, she's a touchy type person. And that helped it along a little bit better. I mean, it just increased things, let's put it that way. The feeling that I had, not only with an erection, but the feeling around my whole membrane, my whole member, had increased. So I had a very high sensitivity with it. And I actually did what I hadn't done in a long time. I almost had a premature ejaculation, and but I wasn't going to hold it back because I was just enjoying it. I remember what Dr. DeYoung said, go for it, don't, because I was in the habit before where I could hold myself and keep things rolling for the longest time. This time I wasn't going to do that. I just let it go. And believe me, I had an orgasm that I hadn't had in many years, even in my previous ejaculations. It was very different. It's almost like I can say, if you ever remember your first ejaculation, it's like everything for the first time. It's always the first time. On this first time, it has its own uniqueness. It was the first time on its own. Well, anybody that has tried anything that doesn't work, like it never worked for me, taking pills, stimulants, or herbal, whether it be herbal or Cialis and the blue pill, I mean, I would highly recommend you try this. I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, I've had more sex in the last 3 weeks that I've been coming here than I had in the last year and a half, possibly. It's I have had several erections, and my wife and I have taken full advantage of it. I mean, it's there, let's go for it, and She's quite a woman, and I hope yours is as good as mine. Doesn't get better, believe me. It can only get better, but try to cure your dysfunction. And to me, it has been a cure. I have found it very positive. I have enjoyed it. You'll feel like a man again, which is, to me, it's extremely important. Not only to me, but for my wife's own happiness. And of course, it makes me happy. I mean, I can't say I don't. So it works. It works. I found a solution. I hope you find yours. But this is definitely the step in the right direction.
There you have it. You just heard another great story from one of our patients here at LaSara Medical Group. And if you too are experiencing ED, and if you also want to have your life change the way that our patients have experienced, then go ahead and give us a call or visit our website at LaSara.com.